24th of June, 2023. You have been working for a company for some time, and other rival companies are willing to employ you with a higher salary for all the practice experience you have gained. Write a letter to your company manager. In your letter, explain the situation, say what you would like the manager to do, maybe increase the salary, etc. And third point, say what action you would take in case the manager fails to meet your demands. Now, first of all, how should we attempt this task? Generally, when the students look at a letter writing topic, we go back down, the memory lane, and we think that, okay, I will write down this letter the way we used to write in school to the manager, so-and-so company and organization. So the first thing is, whenever we write any of the IELTS letters, we never write addresses. So please do not write address in the beginning, or even the date, right? This is how we were being taught in school, but this is very different as we learned it in school. No subject to be written. So how should we start the letter? What should be our approach? See, always remember, every IELTS letter has a situation. After that, they give us 3 bullet points always to describe whatever is given to us. So first of all, we need to understand the structure. What does the structure mean? Now, when I talk about the structure should contain 5 paragraphs. So first of all, how to start the letter. So because this is a semi-formal letter, as I'm writing a letter to my company manager, I know that person by name. I can write that person's name and start with whatever the name is. After this, we write the first paragraph. So first paragraph is about the reason for writing the letter. Why are you writing the letter? But in brief, we are not going to give a long story, not give all the contents here. So paragraph structure is the first and foremost thing you should follow in any IELTS letter. If you are not following the paragraph structure, let me tell you, you will never go beyond a 6 or a 6.5, even with good English, because it is important to follow the correct flow in a letter. Now, the first paragraph is reason for writing the letter. In a brief way, right? After this, the second paragraph. Now, the second paragraph will point out only towards the first bullet point, which is explain the situation. Here, I'm only going to explain the situation. I will not go overboard with the length. I will not give unnecessary pieces of information here, right? We just give the necessary amount of content. Then, third paragraph. So the third paragraph will talk about the second bullet point, which is say what you would like the manager to do, right? So what do you want your manager to do? You should mention that. And after this, the fourth paragraph will talk about the third point, right? Say what action needs to be taken. So say what action you would take in case the manager fails to meet your demands. So say what action, and then of course the same details done. After this, we need a fifth paragraph. which we call as the closing statement. Basically, whatever you expect from that person. So, what do you expect from that person? Maybe a favorable response, right? That your manager will do something for you. And after this, last but not the least, is the sign off. So this is a simple structure that we need to follow for a letter. Now, after understanding the structure, we all know that we are going to give or dedicate the correct number of paragraphs, and we need to follow this structure. So I hope the 5-paragraph structure is clear to everyone. Now, after this, should we straight away start writing the letter? No. We need to make our points on the question paper. So if you are planning to take a pen and paper based IELTS examination, my suggestion is make your notes on the question paper with a pencil. Please do not use a pen. You are not allowed to use a pen on the question paper. Use a pencil to make your notes. If you are taking a computer generated IELTS, it's much easier for you. You can simply type your points which you want to elaborate in the paragraphs, right? Make notes. And when I say make notes, how are you going to divide the time? See, I always recommend the students that we should never spend more than 20 minutes on any letter writing task. So we will spend around, let's say, 3 minutes on content generation. Because see guys, if this blueprint is ready for us, when we write down a letter, it is easier to write a structured letter and you will never miss the necessary piece of information you have to give, right? After this, once we are done with this, I will spend roughly around 12 minutes on writing the letter. So write the letter within 12 minutes. And then last 5 minutes should be spent on correction. Always correct your letter before you submit it. So 5 minutes on correction. And what are we going to check? When you write down a letter, just check it with the question. We'll be doing it at the end of this letter writing so that we know whatever we have written is correct, right? Now let's move on and understand how should we begin with the letter writing. Now, always remember that we are given a minimum word length of 150 words, right? That is a basic criteria. But we recommend the students to write around 170 to 190 words in a letter. Maximum go up to 200 words. Do not invest more time than this. Because, of course, you may write a letter which is for 300 words, but you'll be investing a lot of time there. And then you will not have ample time for your essay writing, right? So remember, 20 minutes is what we are going to spend here. Now, let's move on to the question, right? How should we start the letter? So first of all, because I'm addressing it to my manager, I'll address him by name. I will not leave it as dear manager. Although I'm writing it to the company manager, but that person has a name, right? Isn't there a logic behind it? So dear Avery, I am writing to inform you about 2 job offers that I have received from our competitors. I would like to discuss the situation with you before I make any decision. So, what is the reason of writing the letter? The reason of writing the letter is that I am writing this letter because I have received 2 job offers, right? This is the situation. So, I have received the job offer and, before I take any decision, if I want to decide and join another company, I would like to discuss it with my manager, right? So before I make any hasty decision, I would like to discuss it. So I've simply mentioned that. So the first paragraph, guys, this is just going to give us the reason for writing the letter. Right? After this, Now I will answer the first bullet point in the second paragraph. Explain the situation. So now I have to elaborate this point in the next paragraph. Last week, at the trade fair organized in our city, I met the CEOs of two of our rival companies where they expressed their interest in employing me. They cited my experience and performance as reasons. They also mentioned that they were willing to offer me a higher position as well as a significant raise in the salary. Now, here I have talked about two major things, and this thing was already given to me in the question, right? That because you have a lot of experience in your job, the competitors, they are offering you a better pay package and job. I have somehow explained the same situation here, right? I'm not giving any superficial statements or building up stories. So the letters have to be very straightforward and clear cut, right? After this, now we move on to the next bullet point. Now, the second bullet point says, say what you would like to the manager to do. So we may talk about the increase in salary. So that hint is also given to us in the question. So what do we want the manager to do for us, right? As you know, I have over 10 years of experience in the pharmaceutical field and my performance has been exemplary. I request you to match the offers that I have received. I have my professional growth and personal ambitions to consider. Hence, I would highly appreciate it if you could discuss this with the management and raise my salary. Did anybody point out a mistake while reading it? Yes, there is an error here. We need a full stop, right? Only then we'll start with hence. Why this is important, I'll discuss that with you also. So here we have just given ample information to elaborate on the point because this is what I want the manager to do. I don't have to give extra storyline here that, I am extremely sincere and dedicated. In the past, I never picked up any such offers, but this time the offer is really lucrative. Why should I give that story? So whenever it comes to a semi-formal letter, we have to be very direct in our approach, right? There's no room for any extended story here. So can you see how we are trying to use better vocabulary instead of saying I've always been really good in my work. So my performance has been exemplary, right? I'm the best performer of my company. I do well, right? I have my professional growth and personal ambitions to consider. I have so many things that I want to take under account. So the company should also help me on that note. After this, now we move on to the third bullet point, which says, say what action you would take in case the manager fails to meet your demands. Now, if the manager is not able to fulfill my demand, if he is not able to get me a raise, a better pay package, automatically I will have to take certain steps, right? But see, we can't be very threatening as we are giving this answer, right? We won't be threatening them. So the approach has to be very polite, right? I owe a lot to this organization, and given a choice, I would love to continue working here. However, in case the company is not in a position to give me what the other organizations are offering me, I regret that I will have to tender my resignation. Right? So I'm not threatening them. I'm just saying if the organization can't do the if they can't give me a raise or if they cannot do anything for me, then I will have to submit my resignation. I will have to present that, right? So here the approach is extremely formal, right? Can you see? There is no use of compressed forms of English. Now, this is another blunder which many students make. For example, some of us want to say, let's say, however, in case the company is not in a position to give me what the other organizations are offering, I regret, or let's say, instead of saying I'll regret, I'll say, I'll pick up the job offer given by the competitors or competitors. So remember, guys, whenever we are writing a semi-formal letter or a formal letter, we avoid using compressed forms of English. I can't. I'll do this. We won't follow the company policy. So these type of compressed forms of English are not at all advised, right? We just try to stick to the main points and give details on them. Clear? Now, after I'm done with this, technically, I've given 4 paragraphs right now. 4 paragraphs seem good, but what is missing? The closing statement. So now let's understand how should we give the closing statement for the letter as well. Let's have a look at the salutation. So we have elaborated these 3 points in paragraph 2, 3, and 4. Now this little statement here can majorly affect our band score if we miss the closing statement. What you expect from this person? I am looking forward to a positive reply from you. So what are you expecting from this person? That you need a positive reply. And after that, we put the sign off, yours sincerely, Joe Wilson. Another point, please remember, it is YOURS, yours. We never have an apostrophe S here. Right? So remember, no apostrophe, it is YOURS. And after this, some students, they ask me, ma'am, should we always put a comma here? See, putting a comma here makes more sense when you put a comma in the beginning after putting the name of the person. When you put a comma here, you should definitely put a comma at the end. If you have not added it there, then you may skip it. Not a problem there. But I will personally advise everyone to put a comma in the beginning after the name of the person to whom you are addressing the letter, and then yours sincerely, put a comma and then add your name. So these 2 approaches are important. Now imagine in the examination, I'm done writing my letter, right? But there is always, some room for human error also. We all are humans. We all make different type of errors. So what did I did after writing this letter? I checked the letter again. Okay, I addressed the person correct. The first paragraph has to give the reason for writing. So I'm writing to you to inform you about 2 job offers that I've received from our competitors. I would like to discuss the situation with you before I make any decision. Now, see, guys, here I'm not elaborating that what is my decision? What will I do? If you will not listen to me, I will leave the organization, right? There's no such thing mentioned here. So just a simple reason for writing the letter. Why am I writing a letter to the organization or the manager? Then after we give the first paragraph, we come to the second paragraph, which is for the first bullet point, right? Explain the situation. So last week, At the trade fair organized in our city, I met the CEOs of two of our rival companies where they expressed their interest in employing me. They cited my experience and performance as reasons. They also mentioned that they are willing to offer me a higher position as well as significant raise in salary. Right? I mentioned whatever they are offering me because I have to explain the situation. And here I have mentioned that they are giving me a higher position and a significant raise in the salary. So these are the 2 points which I wanted to address, and I've addressed them here. Right? I don't believe that we need to give any figures here that now, they are offering me so and so package. If you do that, fine. But if you don't do that and you address it in this way, that can also work, right? Because the main point is mentioned. After this, we come to the third paragraph, which will address the second bullet point. As you know, I have over 10 years of experience in the pharmaceutical field, and my performance has been exemplary. I request you to match the offers that I have received. I have my professional growth and personal ambitions to consider. Now it is the time to check the human error. Full stop. Hence, I would highly appreciate if I could discuss this with the management and raise my salary. Would and could. They always go hand in hand. Hence, I would highly appreciate if you could. So it can never be. Hence, I will appreciate, that will be a mistake here. We never put will. We will have to say, I would appreciate, I would highly appreciate it. If you can discuss it, no. If you could discuss it, it is a humble request. So could is a formal way of, asking someone for help or to ask for a possibility also. Can is an informal approach, right? So these are the verb models which should be used properly. After this, we come to the fourth paragraph. The fourth paragraph will describe the last point. Say what action you would take in case the manager fails to meet the demands. I owe a lot to this organization, and given a choice, I would like to continue working here. However, in case the company is not in a position to give me what the other organizations are offering me, I regret that I will have to tender my resignation. Clear? So this point is absolutely clear that if the manager fails to help me out here, what am I going to do? I'm going to give my resignation. Last but not the least, the closing statement is also there. I have checked all the necessary parameters. I have checked my commas, my punctuations. Now this letter is ready for submission. Right? So this is the approach which you should have when you check your response. When you try to submit your answer and you just give last 5 minutes, guys, this can increase your band score with a +1 or maybe a 1.5 in the overall totality, right? So writing a letter is not at all a Herculean task, and I know all of you will do it better. We will try to work and show more letters to you so that all those who are interested to learn more on letter writing will be able to help you. But let me tell you guys, if you want to get your desired score in writing, because when it comes to general, you need a minimum of 8,777, right? And scoring a 7 becomes really difficult for many of the students. And let me tell you, the journey from a 6 or 6.5 to a 7 is actually difficult. So if you need our help, definitely get in touch with us. We are happy to help all the students who want to enroll with us. And you can follow us, the Yuno Learning platform, for all the live sessions. Yes, this is the best part about Yuno Learning, that we have all the live sessions. These are interactive sessions and they help you to ask the teachers about your doubts at that very moment, right? So the moment you are in dilemma, you have a question, you have a teacher right in front of you to answer your queries and quench your thirst, right? So please join Yuno Learning either through LinkedIn or through our YouTube platforms and give us an opportunity to help you.